Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glen and Yong.
Are you coming up short on design ideas? Are you tired of going back and forth with your designer on Upwork and Fiverr? Well, I have a solution for you. DesignCandy.io. They're a professional design agency that offers quality shirt designs for just $10 a pop. You don't have to worry about coming up with niche ideas. All you have to do is just pay the monthly subscription of $20, and then the designs are just $10 each. I personally use them. I like the designs. I use the designs. And you know what? You get top quality customer service. So if you want some good quality designs, head over to DesignCandy.io right now. Mention Merch Minds and you'll get 2 free designs when you sign up.
Merch Informer is the #1 research program for Merch by Amazon. You can do niche research by BSRs, keywords, and even by merchant brand names at your fingertips. You can explore historical data to see exactly what strategies the top sellers are using to succeed. Merch Informer was designed to help streamline your research process and help organize your ideas. Head over to merchinformer.com for a free 3-day trial, and after that, it's just $19.99 per month. Use the coupon code MERCHMINDS for 15% off the entire order. Merch Minds podcast episode number 59, Q4. I'm Glenn. This is Yong.
Hello, sir.
And it's a little chilly outside.
It is chilly, man. Even by California standards, it's very chilly.
Yeah, we had snow yesterday in El Paso, so that's very, very rare.
So is it rare? Because I remember the last time I drove through El Paso, right after I left town, you guys were hit by like this massive snowstorm. So when you guys get snow like that, is it really rare?
Yeah, it's only like once a year, if that.
Okay. Because I remember you were like, yo, man, we got hit by this snowstorm, and I was like, what? I was just there yesterday. But then again, I remember that whole trail that I was traveling on. You know, like what was it? It was Mexico and Texas, and I said Mexico. Geez, New Mexico, New Mexico, Texas. Like all that, all of them were like hit by a storm.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then even now, it's like Austin. So my brother didn't get to fly in. He still hasn't flown in. His plane got delayed again. So Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, all of them for some reason, snow.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, but speaking of traveling, so I got, if you guys recall, I had mentioned that I'm leaving for my annual trip here in the later half of December. So I have Southern California locked up. I'm going to go down there for a few days and visit my parents for like a day or so. And then after that, I'll be in Las Vegas. And then after Vegas, I haven't planned yet. But if you guys are interested in meeting up, just shoot me a message and let me know that you're interested. And I'll definitely consider those places. You want to talk numbers, man?
Yeah, let's talk numbers, and then we'll go into merch news.
Sure.
I'm guessing. Okay. So, all right, numbers. Last 7 days, 229 products sold. Estimated royalties, $1,108.99. At one point, I was at like 1,300, and now it's kind of gotten up and down since the throttling, aka message and news we're going to talk about right now, and also not really listing any new products, obviously, because we can't. But since then, it's gotten a little weird with up and down. But at one point it was going strong. I was leaning towards 1,300 range, but still solid at 1,100 right now, and it's 407. So we'll see what other sales come in for the day. And then my second account, I've sold 31 shirts so far, so I'm ready to tear up whenever that is.
Okay. That's pretty good, man. Your primary account is doing really good.
Yeah, it's not too bad right now, and I know it's Q4. Everyone's kind of doing good, so I can't really say anything. But preparing for next year, I think is going to be a huge deal. So let's see when they, unrelease this thing and get us back going, and then go from there.
Sure. Well, I wouldn't say everyone's doing good, because I've seen some posts in groups and stuff where people are complaining about their sales. But
Okay.
so my numbers, the last 7 days, 116 products sold, for an estimated royalty of what, $768.66. Here's the thing, man,
Talk to us.
it's really frustrating, right? Obviously, because of the whole throttling. And for those of you guys that listen to the show on a regular basis, you guys know that I always say Amazon would not throttle your listing unless there's a legitimate reason, right? So clearly they're having capacity issues. So I've been running AMS ads, right? And you and I spoke a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I've been running AMS ads. I have like 40 ads running, and it was weird because like half of them were like getting no impressions, no sales. So I talked to our buddy Anthony and Kevin, because those
guys.
yeah, the Jersey guys, because those guys are all about AMS ads and
10xing.
10xing and 69ing and all that. So I talked to Anthony and I was like, "Yo, man," I'm like, "How are you?" I'm like, "Are your ads are you getting any conversions from your ads?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting conversions and this and that." And I was like, "Well, what the heck is going on with my ads?" Because I was like, "I'm not getting any conversions." He started asking me all kinds of questions like, "Are you doing this? Are you doing that?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm doing all of that, man." I'm like, "I know how to run ads because I've done this before. I'm just not getting any conversions." Dude, come to find out, I don't know if you know this, even the ads are not working now. Apparently, Amazon are throttling ads. No, seriously. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah. So I thought I was going crazy, and I was like, "Yo, Ant." So I messaged him today. I was like, "Dude, I told you, man. There was something going on. It wasn't just me." So yeah, but we found out that Amazon is not throttling the ads as well.
That's crazy. And
That's crazy, right?
how's he doing?
Well, when I talked to him a couple of days ago, he said he was doing about 30. He did about 35 shirts. I don't know how many ads he's running, but he said he had about 35 shirts sold,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's 35 in one day.
Yeah.
I think he said he hasn't sold that much today. See, so here's the thing, man. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, "Yo, man, my freaking ads are not converting." And then sure enough, I found out that Amazon are now throttling the ads as well. So
I think their main issue, I don't know if it's maybe how you feel too, but like you said, capacity issues. I just think that maybe they're just kind of limiting even some of the best-selling shirts. I've gotten messages like, "Hey, I don't know where my shirt is anymore. I can't find it in search." Even some of my shirts, the ones that started to kind of like gain some momentum, they don't have a rank anymore.
yeah,
I was like, "How does this happen?" I was like, "What's going on?" So I'm thinking it's just, they're just having trouble fulfilling all the orders, even though they could possibly make more money that way. They're just, why keep accepting orders if they can't do it? So
yeah.
it's just
But
tough right now.
yeah, it was I thought I was going nuts, man. I was like, "Yo, dude," I'm like, "I know how to run ads, man." I'm like, and then yeah, so that was crazy. So apparently, guys, if you guys are running AMS ads, Amazon is now throttling AMS ads as well. So don't be discouraged. And it's frustrating because leading, the whole year, I was telling myself, man, December, I'm going to crush it. That's going to be my biggest month. I think I even mentioned it at one point to you that I wanted to do about 10K this month.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably do maybe 5K. So it's
Yeah.
really, really frustrating. However, dude, my Etsy's blowing up.
This boy's blowing up on Etsy. What's going
It's
on?
blowing up, man. It's blowing up. There's something happening on Etsy, man. It's just, and it's a good thing, right? However, it's making me nervous. So, do you remember this commercial back, like in the, gosh, it was like in the late '90s, maybe early 2000s. There was a commercial, and I don't remember what the, I don't. It was like was like an IBM or like a Cisco something, right? Like it was like one of those commercials, and the commercial goes like this, right? Uh, uh, there's like all these employees surrounded. There's all these employees at a startup company surrounded by this, surrounding this one computer, and they're waiting for like their very first sale, right?
Mhm.
And then the computer shows like one sale, and everyone's celebrating, right? They're like, yeah, yeah, and then they're celebrating, and then the sales keep coming in, right? It's 2 sales, 3 sales, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone's celebrating. They're cheering, and it's a startup company. By the time they start getting like into the 200 sales, everyone's kind of getting a little nervous. And then all of a sudden, 500 sales are like, oh my gosh. 600 sales are like, what the hell are we gonna do? 800 sales, they'll start panicking. That's how I feel like right now with Etsy, right? Because even though they're not throttling, we have our holiday deadlines, right?
Yeah.
So every time the sales come in, I'm kind of celebrating. But then, like, the more sales that come in, I'm like, yo, man, I got to message each and every one of these people and let them know, hey, they might not get their order by Christmas. And it makes me nervous. I'm like, they might cancel. And I already had one cancellation this morning. I had to cancel one order.
Oh yeah, that's true because of the
Yeah,
maybe she
because
didn't get it on time.
because it was a gift, and I so right after she made a purchase, I had messaged her. I was like, hey, because of the holidays, and I'm really busy, it might not be shipped in time. And she goes, oh, you know what, I'll just cancel my order. Um, so yeah, so Etsy's been blowing up, dude. But I think at some point I might have to put my store on vacation mode,
Yeah.
because I just don't want to go through. Because I'm getting multiple orders per day, and just it's getting to the point where, normally I wouldn't mind doing all the customer service work, but it's just getting to the point where I just got too many things to balance right now, and it's just getting out of control.
And you're not doing outside of the U.S. orders, right?
Oh man, I discontinued that, dude. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I put an end to that real quick.
yeah, dude, I cannot understand the VAT. And for those of you guys that don't know, that's VAT. That's the UK European tax that they have over there. For the life of me, I cannot figure that out. So I just discontinued selling overseas. Period.
Mhm.
In fact, I had a lady message me, "Oh, I'm in the UK. Can I order this?" I'm like, "Sorry, lady. Buy it on Amazon."
Yeah, I agree in that too because I don't think anyone, at least that I've seen, doesn't look like they've been kind of like know what's going on when it comes to that thing. It's just been super confusing. So I
It's
think it's better just to stay out of it.
it's confusing as hell, man. And I was talking to my friend here locally who used to live in London, and he said it shouldn't be that complicated, but apparently Etsy's making it complicated. And who knows? You know what? I'm not a tax expert. I can't get a hold of my damn CPA. He's God knows where he is. So yeah, I'm all confused right now. So I discontinued selling overseas. Basically, all I had to do was go into my settings and delete, uh, um, you know, delete the settings for shipping overseas, and the customer won't have that option anymore.
Yeah.
So, but even still, domestic orders been coming in. How about you, man? How are your Etsy sales?
I think I sold one yesterday, and then I sold maybe like another one 2 or 3 days before. I only have like 5 sales all time or something.
Wait a minute. So I don't. You told me how many designs do you have up and how many products?
Let me check real quick on this thing because I was looking at it right now. I only have 17 active listings.
Oh, dude, you need to work on that. No wonder.
I know. So that's where I am on that. That's a goal for 2018, but
Okay.
I am doing good on the other merch account. So I'm ready to tear up whenever they're getting their stuff together.
Sure, absolutely.
So that one I'm
Um,
excited about because now I should be able to go to 100. Is that the next one?
it's
Or is it
10,
50?
25. No, it's 10, 25, 100, right?
Yeah, I think it's 100. So
Yeah.
if 100 is the next one, then yeah, and then I'm pumped.
Okay. Well, cool, man. Congrats. That probably it's probably not going to happen until like late
I know.
January, probably.
February, if that.
Yeah, February of 2020.
Yeah, maybe they'll have hoodies by then.
Oh, maybe.
And you want to talk about the message that we got? Well, technically, this was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
About the temporarily suspended the ability to submit products or edit existing listings. You'll be able to save these products in draft form and submit them when publishing resumes. We will provide an update here on Tuesday, December 12th regarding the status of new submissions and edits.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing because a lot of people there was, before that message, before that notice came out, a lot of people were making minor price adjustments to their listings to get back into the whole listing, so their listing could be visible.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
guys, Amazon's not dumb. They just they caught on real quick. They're like, nope, you guys aren't doing none of that.
Yeah.
So but yeah, no, you know what? They did this last year, right? They did it last year, so it doesn't surprise me. It's just frustrating because they had a whole year, right? They had a whole
Mhm.
year to get ready for for December, and we're still going through this process, and it's just man, like I said, I was expecting my biggest month, man, and it's just it's so frustrating.
Yeah. And well, it's the second year and stuff, and merch is still a baby in the e-commerce world. So
Sure.
it's gonna be, I think, let's see what happens next year, because more and more people are gonna sign up, more and more shirts are gonna be sold, and let's see what they do to figure that out. But that's what I'm
But
saying. Like, I think things like this and the design part that we talked about last week is the things that I think I'd rather fix than to bring on hoodies, because I don't think, I mean, they're kind
well,
of
here's
ready
the
for that.
well, here's the thing. I mean, you just said it yourself. Like, if I mean, and I get it. I like merch. I like Amazon, and merch is still in the infancy stage. But it's just like, why are you still approving new accounts, or they were at least,
Yeah.
if you can't meet up with the capacity? Like, December is going to be huge, and yet you
Yeah.
guys were still approving accounts. Why not focus on the current accounts and clearing that out, and just it's frustrating.
I was kind of surprised that we even got the last tier up, because when I was at 10, we got that tier up to go to 25.
That
That
was
one
what.
was only like 2 weeks ago, maybe, or
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna
yeah.
say that was like mid-December. I mean mid-November.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that tier up even happened. I thought they weren't going to do anything until next year, even at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
point.
No, I mean
So
that's a good point. So it's like it's frustrating the way they do things, because some of the stuff that they've done doesn't make sense. But hey, you know what? That's again, we said this 1,000 times by now. That's what we get for playing on their playground, right?
yes, sir. And we'll still, I mean, we're starting a pretty good month. I just think, yeah, next year I'm pretty pumped to see what changes I'm gonna make and how to grow, my account for both of, I guess, by both of my merch accounts, I should say.
Me too.
So
I'm trying to grow my account and the two others that I tackled on. So I'm looking forward to scaling all three accounts, man. It'll be a lot of work, but you know what? Like I said, I'm a firm believer of hard work, man. I don't believe in this passive income crap.
and should we talk about our guest? Are we ready for that or no?
Yeah, yeah. So last week, Glenn and I we had talked about the TeePublic. Is it TeePublic? Yeah. Jeez, there's so many I can't remember. TeePublic's their digital artwork protection plan, and guess who emailed me? It was one of the guys from TeePublic said, "Hey, Young, I heard your podcast. Let's chat." And I'm like, "What the heck is this?" So I opened up the email, read his email. He said he had heard the podcast, and uh, we were talking behind the scenes a little bit, and I was like, you know what? Why don't you guys come on the show, and we can interview you. So we had James, and then also the co-founder of TeePublic. They both came on the show. Unfortunately, Glenn, you couldn't do the interview because you were busy with the family business, but
Yeah.
but it's yeah. So it's they I had an opportunity to talk to both of them, and they talked about TeePublic, and they got a little more in depth about their digital artwork protection, and great guys, great guys. And I'm really so if you've been on TeePublic, the artwork, you might look at it and you'll probably tell yourself, oh, this would never fly on
Yeah.
Amazon. And you're absolutely right. Those would never fly on Amazon. However, that's the kind of artwork that I want to do. And after talking to these guys, man, I'm pumped and ready to like open up my TeePublic account.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. So if you guys are interested, I would say go check out TeePublic. If that's something you can do, I would say definitely try and get onto that platform. But before we go into the interview, man, what happened with the family business? Anything bad, or is it just you just have to fill in?
I'm just covering. The dad's getting surgery soon, so I'm just trying to help him out, get everything prepared. So, trying to just cover and help them out a bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, we all have our priorities, and obviously, family is a priority for all of us, right? Or at least it should be. So let's get into that interview, and great interview, and then we'll talk afterwards. We have another episode this week, and this is a special episode. We have the guys from TeePublic. They reached out to me. They heard the previous episode, and they wanted to talk. So, guys, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm James McArthur. I do work on growth for TeePublic, and yeah, kind of what
and
it
this
is.
is Adam Schwartz, and I am one of the co-founders of TeePublic.
Cool. So thanks so much for being on the show, guys. Unfortunately, my co-host couldn't be here today. He really wanted to be here, but he got tied up with the family business and all. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. You guys don't want to talk to him anyway, right? I'm the better half.
well, I don't really know, but thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Cool. So tell me, guys, how did TeePublic get started, and how long you guys been in business?
So TeePublic was founded in 2013. Before that, my business partner and I owned another t-shirt website, Busted Tees, which he founded originally alongside College Humor and Vimeo back in 2004. And so sold a number of years later. But we bought Busted Tees back, and we're just running that independent t-shirt for a while. But then, got excited about the idea of taking what we learned about starting our own line and creating a platform that would empower other people and artists to do the same thing.
Cool. I think we're having some audio issues, but for the most part, we can hear everything, so that's fine. So that's cool. Now I've been to Busted Tees, and it's very similar to TeePublic. I like it. So I urge all the listeners to go check out Busted Tees as well. So let's talk about organic traffic, right? I mean, so we know that Amazon, they're the kings of organic traffic. How do customers find your products?
Organic traffic is huge. We're able to compete even with Amazon in our little corner of the market. So organic search is huge. We have a tremendous amount of content, user-generated content on the site. We also have a lot of social traffic from the users on the site as well as the shoppers. And beyond that, we work with a lot of content creators, so podcasts like yourself, YouTube channels, Twitch streamers, they use TeePublic as well for their merchandise, and they drive a lot of traffic to the site. And then, of course, we have, some of the traditional channels, Facebook ads and AdWords and stuff like that.
Cool. So from my understanding, I'm not on TeePublic yet, and I'm really intrigued by you guys, and I do want to open up an account here later today. From what I understand, the previous model was a design had to have 30 sales before it goes into production. That's changed now. I think once it sells, it'll go into production, correct?
Yeah, that was honestly, so we launched with that model. At the time, print on demand was just ramping up in terms of were machines that were coming out that could do a quality print. So we were trying to get to screen print volume, but we haven't been with that model really in almost over 4 years now. It's been that you can create a store on TeePublic and upload as many different designs as you want. Cool. And whatever gets ordered is printed, fulfilled on demand, and there's no minimums.
That's awesome. Okay, so what makes TeePublic different from other pod sites? I mean, I swear it's like every other day there's some new site popping up, and I can't keep track.
Yeah, there are a lot, but there's a couple of things that make us that have allowed us to be successful, I think, and make us sort of differentiated in the market. So number one is quality. So through our years at Busted Tees and our years at TeePublic, one of the things that we entered this market with an understanding of was how to take an image, print it on a product, and do that in a high quality way. Anybody can take an image, pass it to a on-demand printer, and print it out. I mean, anybody can do that. But if you don't take any precautions and you just take the file that, let's say, you're given, and you print it out, you're going to get bad prints. You're going to get prints that break in the wash. You're going to get the colors are going to match the intent of the art. And we've spent years perfecting that process, and we have proprietary algorithms as well as in-house quality control that works to ensure that the artwork that our artists upload is printed in the way they intended it to. And that's something that I'm confident to say nobody else does at our scale. The second is price. We feel that we offer the most competitive while paying the designer the highest proportion. Thirdly is our both customer and designer community teams. So if you're an artist on TeePublic, we're not a cold platform that's just, hey man, upload your stuff and good luck to you. We have an community team that works with our artists to build a relationship with them, to help them become successful, tips on how to grow their fan base and their store. And there are human beings that sit in our office in New York that you can talk to whenever you want about your experience on TeePublic, about what your goals are, and we really see it as a partnership. The last thing from, compared to the majority of the, the sites that are out there, especially the new ones, is the ecosystem that we've built is one that has millions and millions of customers from around the world, traffic that's coming to the site, which means you're bringing that existing traffic in the ecosystem, a lot of existing content in the ecosystem. That nation of content is a really powerful tool for everybody to succeed. We put all this stuff in one place. So there's very few sites that have the quantity of content that we do.
Okay, thank you for that, Adam. James, just curious, I want to do an audio check. I'm getting a lot of break here. Now, can you hear Adam fine?
I can. He is breaking a bit.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure it was not me. Adam, you were, just to let you know, you were breaking up there a little bit. But we'll continue with the interview
Okay.
the best we can. I want to respect your guys' time. I know you guys are busy. James, I know you mentioned you guys are flying out to Seattle immediately after the interview, so I want to respect you guys' time. Um, so, in a nutshell, right? I mean, this is kind of why we're talking today, is because my co-host and I were talking about your digital artwork protection plan. Tell me about it.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we were in this market with the rise of these print-on-demand sites. What we've seen is that some frustration from our artist community, because people are taking their creativity, taking their artwork, uploading it to our competitor sites. Trying to profit off of that, basically. And so this had been going on for a little while, and we felt like to really serve our community and be the stewards of our designers' artwork, which is what we aim to do, we needed to building tools that would help them in this fight against rippers.
Yeah, and I said this last week when I was talking to my co-host. I really commend you guys for taking the initiative for doing something like this. I mean, other sites can offer, more royalties or more products, but this is, like you said, this has been an ongoing problem. So I really want to commend both of you guys for taking action to try and protect content creators. So thank you um, from the community. Um, so now I've seen some of the artwork that's on your site, and don't get me wrong, I love it. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do as well. But you mentioned competitors and whatnot, and there's some sites, stuff like that just won't fly, right? At what point do you guys make a decision and say, well, this is copyright infringement and this is not? Because I'm seeing a lot of stuff, like, for instance, a lot of parody, like, Stranger Things and Star Wars. Like, what's fair play and what's not for you guys?
We're an open platform. We do not monitor uploads at all, and we can't. We are protected by the DMCA. It's the same way that YouTube operates. People upload whatever content they upload, and if a copyright holder tells us that an upload is infringing on their copyrights, then we will comply and we'll take it down.
Okay, so essentially, it's the content creator's responsibility then.
Yep.
Okay, I got you.
100%, and that's the way a lot of the, I mean, the DMCA is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and a lot of the internet is built off of that, because it was a really important law that says, look, if we want to have platforms, we want to have user-generated platforms, then we can't expect the people who own those platforms to be also responsible for everything, every million, 2 million, 3 million designs that are uploaded all the time. And so that was a really, really important decision that the courts made, and that's how it works. It's totally up to the designer.
Okay, so I guess that kind of answers my next question, which was, how do you guys know who the artwork belongs to then, right? Because so someone on TeePublic can rip someone else's artwork on another competitor site and upload it to your guys' site, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. We do have some sometimes we can tell. Sometimes when the image itself is a rip, it has certain file properties that give it away. So we do have some ability to say that might not be authentic. The best way, though, for us to be sure is if the original artwork is uploaded on TeePublic by the artist, and that can be verified pretty easily. So, for example, if this will happen, two people will say, somebody uploads a piece of art and somebody else uploads a piece of art, and one person saying it's mine and the other person. It takes a simple Google search to figure out who the real artist is. Generally, I ask, hey, can you just send us some post from some site showing when you first put this up, and we can tell. And once we, and the other thing that I say, as I mentioned before, because we really work to develop relationships with our artists and to know our artist community, it is that process that we know who's out there, we know who's doing what, to the extent that we can. We're probably going to reach out and say what's up, and the rippers, they're not very responsive, and the real artists are, and we can get to the bottom of it. It can be painful, but once we know who the real artist is, then we can make sure that rippers can't upload their work to the site.
Awesome. So I'm just curious, how many? I'm sure you guys get tons of emails, but how many emails do you guys receive on a daily basis from content creators talking about their artwork is being stolen?
We probably, it depends. I mean, we probably get a handful a day. We also have chatter on Twitter and chatter on Facebook, proactively calling designers every week to have conversations with them just to get feedback. And they're, we're asking them about it. So, there's been a regular drumbeat. And that's why we're trying to be as proactive as we can and aggressive as we can to help solve the problem.
Awesome. So why did you guys feel like this was the right time to create the digital artwork protection plan?
It's just the proliferation of print-on-demand sites isn't going to slow down. It's really moving quickly, and I would predict that in just a few years you're not going to see a whole lot of T-shirts and apparel and iPhone cases printed in other ways. It's just too advantageous. But it has really commoditized the designs a little bit, and it's making it's lessening the TeePublic experience, right? I mean, if you're going to put hours and hours into designing a creative work, the point of TeePublic at its core is for you to focus on that creative output, and for us to do nearly everything else for you, to handle fulfillment and production and customer service and introduce your creativity to a global audience. And if your work is being devalued by thieves, then somebody needs to address that. And so we see ourselves as the stewards of our creators' artwork, and so then we take it as our responsibility that we need to assist in in helping to stop it.
Thank you. Now, I know I watched your video, your announcement video, and I know there's some things you can't really go into depth about, but just and again, if you can't discuss this too much, I do respect that. But what steps did the internal task force make to figure out the loopholes?
Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. What we did was we said, okay, we've got a great team of engineers here at TeePublic, and we said, okay, you're a ripper. Your job today is to figure out how to steal high-res artwork from the site, and download a transparent PNG. Go. Everybody went out and did that. Okay, so there's 3 or 4 ways. Now let's say the series of steps that you took to work that way, pretend that that's now impossible. Now do it again, figure it out. Okay, got it. Here's another couple ways again, until we said, okay, we've exhausted all of the possibilities, ranging from that quality to, well, what could they do in really, a lot of what you'll find is sort of low quality rips, which is they've written a script to just old preview image and like recreate it. It's it's not high res, like they're not really getting it, but it's an approximation. It's close enough. And we went and we researched all those scripts. We looked at, you know, what tools are out there for rippers to do this kind of work. And we said, okay, that's sort of what we're up against. Now let's go make sure that deploying those types of scripts and doing that on TeePublic is obnoxious and nearly impossible.
Okay. So now I know you mentioned that that your database will now search other competitors' sites. Is it searching the other competitors' sites, or is it just searching the internet period for the same
It's
image?
not it's not the internet period. We can't search every image on the web. That would be
That's impossible.
a lot of
lot of
processing power. But so what we do is we try to isolate the sites that are most likely to have ripped artwork, and we search those.
Okay. All right. Cool. So what can be done as a designer to stop other websites from selling our designs?
Yeah, there's really, you know, two things that there's not, it's a tough challenge, but there's really two main things. One is, although I put stuff on a TeePublic or a competitor, and they say, oh, you know, my artwork has been stolen, et cetera, et cetera. The one thing that I'll say for TeePublic and even some of our competitors is that we are aware of this problem, and we're trying to make it difficult to steal the image. Something that a lot of designers do not realize is that the portfolio sites, Behance, DeviantArt, Dribble, people who are posting art on Tumblr, they have no concept of this problem. They're not in the business of you know, sellable images. They're just posting the images. They are not thinking about image security on your behalf. And so a lot of the time we see that is where images are being stolen from, and we've gone through all of those sites and looked to see, well, you know, what would it be like to get an image off of DeviantArt or whatever, and it's like, yeah, the file is just right there. This takes nothing. So that's one thing. Be careful not of just the print on demand sites you're posting on, but the portfolio sites that you're posting on. The second thing, and this is unfortunate, but you really have to be vigilant, and you have to send a lot of DMCAs. So if your art is appearing on you know, whatever site, the faster and more often you are sending them DMCAs, you know, the better it will be for you. The squeaky wheels in this sense.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So you know what? I didn't even think about that, because I do have a portfolio on Behance, and I've never even thought about that. So that's good to know. So thank you for pointing that out. So explain to me, what is the image bank, and what does it do?
So as we sort of discussed, you know, you've uploaded artwork to TeePublic, searching other potential websites that, you know, where it's appearing where it should not be. You can go even further than that to ensure that there's not ripped art appearing on TeePublic. So if you upload your artwork to TeePublic, and you know, through time we verified it's you know, you're the original source. Now that image is in our image bank, and if any other ripper tries to take that art and just re-upload it right to TeePublic, we know that instantly, and we can do something about it. We can auto take it. Okay,
cool. Are you guys taking other steps as far as banning rippers? I mean, I know the artwork protection is still in the infancy stage. Are you guys going to be developing it more? And I mean, is that something you can discuss, or is that kind of off topic?
What I can just basically say is that we have, we're going to do another development sprint on it in the first quarter to enhance its accuracy, improve the UI, and make it a more powerful tool. So I'm willing to say that.
Awesome, awesome. James, I want to talk to you. Now, you said you're more in charge of the growth of TeePublic, yes?
Yeah, really working with partners, so podcasts, content creators, helping them expand the reach of the community through merch.
Yeah, and I think, and you were the one that reached out to me, and thank you for doing that. So any and I guess this is a question for both of you guys. Any future developments or changes that will happen to TeePublic?
We're constantly talking to our clients, content creators, the podcasts I work with every day, and hear what kind of changes we need to make the experience better.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of programs we need to implement to make sure that they successful on TeePublic. Because it's one thing to upload your stuff and have it sit there, but it's kind of like screaming into the void, where we work with you to promote your merch store on TeePublic.
Okay.
Get your merch in front of your fans, but as far as development, we're constantly in the process of asking questions, talking to our creators, and talking to our designers.
Okay, cool. So, just out of curiosity, what kind of apparel are you guys printing on, or is it just a variety of stuff?
It's a huge selection. We have probably over 50 different cuts of apparel that you can print on, as well as kid products, art, notebooks, pillows, iPhone cases, laptop cases, stickers, and we'll be adding to that product suite in 2018.
That's awesome. Well, I encourage everyone, if you guys haven't, go check out TeePublic. I'm going to go sign up for an account today. And I would love to invite you guys back maybe sometime next year, and we can catch up and see how the art protection is working out, and just talk in general. Yeah?
Yeah, we'd love to.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and let us know how your experience is on the platform.
I will. And guys, I know you guys are flying to one of my favorite cities, Seattle. Beautiful place. Have fun there. You guys are going to the PodCon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, James. When you first mentioned PodCon, I thought it was a print on demand, like a conference. But then when I looked it up, it's a podcast conference. Either way, I'm interested in both. I'm doing both. So maybe next year, I'll go with you guys. But guys, I want to respect your time. Thank you so much. If I have any other questions, is it okay if I just message you guys?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So there you go, guys. TeePublic, and I apologize for the audio. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but every now and then we do have these issues. And Glenn and I had talked about this, and we want to try and bring you guys the best content as far as not just merch by Amazon, but print on demand in general. And so we're going to be investing in some new apps and equipments here, so that way we can try and provide the best audio that we can. We've already talked behind the scenes about what we're going to do as far as what we can get. So just bear with us. Again, guys, we're kind of like merch, right? We're only, the podcast is only like just a little over a year old, and we're learning as we go. So hopefully in the next coming weeks the audio will be much better. But yeah, so Glenn, any possible chance you can meet up towards the tail end of my trip?
Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher at this point. I guess I just don't even really know. First it was looking decent, and then now it seems like everything's happening at once with
Sure.
So my cousin's getting married like a couple of days before. My dad's surgery is kind of the biggest thing right now, so we're kind of just, I guess, preparing for that. And then I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out, but percentage is less and less.
Okay, and that's fine, right? Like I said, we all have our priorities. But again, I just want to thank the guys from TeePublic, James and Adam. Great guest. Again, I highly encourage you guys to go check out TeePublic. Both Glenn and I really commend them for taking the first step to protecting the content creators. Before we go, as always, we always talk about our Merch Minds coaching. If you guys are interested, go to merchminds.com, fill out the questionnaire, and then it'll reroute you to make the payment. Is $497. I think is well worth it. We've had some really good people sign up so far, and yeah, I mean, we want to share, both of us, we want to share everything that we know about merch with you guys, so that way you guys can try and scale your business as well. Before we go, Glenn, Mr. Hacks, where can people find you?
YouTube at Hustler Hacks. Email me, hustlerhacks1@gmail.com.
And you guys can go to geekhustle.com, sign up for my newsletter, or email me at Yong, YONG at geekhustle.com. Or you can just tag both of us in the Facebook group.
Yes, sir.
Right? All right.
Yes, sir.
So, man, I got to put some clothes on. I'm freezing. So we'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya.